Hello everyone, welcome to the Warehouse series. So before I get started with today's video, I want to let you know the easiest way to navigate my channel is through my playlist, and make sure you scroll through all my playlists. I do not organize my playlist. I don't know how to be honest with you. I've tried to move stuff around, but I can't. But just make sure, because sometimes, like right now, they have a bunch of my playlists grouped together for the Warehouse series. And then all the way at the bottom is one whenever I was up at Perishable. All my perishable products are down at the bottom. So if you're in the perishable building and you're looking for a perishable playlist, please scroll through all my playlists and make sure that you're seeing all of the Warehouse series videos. So with that being said, I talk about strong corners on this channel all the time. And the result of having strong corners, you're gonna have a strong front and you're gonna have a strong back. Why is that important? Well, if you have to stop your jack quickly, or if you have to, every time you hit the throttle, your order slightly shifts. Now, sometimes some jacks are a little bit more jerkier than others, but you're gonna get that shift. And if you have heavy cases in the middle and small cases on the outside of your pallet, you're gonna get a shift that's probably gonna knock your pallet over. But if you have a strong wall in the back and a strong wall in the front, your pallet's not going anywhere because all those small cases in the middle are not gonna push that over. And with that being said, why is this important? Because just like the other day, I was leaving overtime. Somebody else was leaving overtime, and he's traveling up the main area of the dock, and someone came flying out, a blind spot to boot, okay? So someone's here, and they came flying around this person out of the wrap machine and almost hit somebody. Guys, I always say in the warehouse, the aisles are your side roads, and the main travel area up on the dock is like the parkway. And you get those knuckleheads that like to weave in and out of traffic on the parkway. We do that at the warehouse too. There's no need for it. Someone's going to get hurt. Except on our dock, we have people walking, either myself, like training, or supervisors. We have people constantly walking that front dock, and we need to be mindful of everybody around. We need to stop flying in this part of the warehouse. It's very unsafe, and someone is going to get hurt at our work. But with that being said, you have to hit that emergency brake if someone cuts you off. If you hit the emergency brake on your jack, well, your load's going to shift forward. If your load shifts forward with a nice solid front, more than likely your pallet's not falling. And like I said, every time you hit that throttle and you're shifting back, your pallet's not going to fall because you got some nice solid backs on your pallet. So with that being said, I could say this every order all day, or every video all day. It just drives me nuts. 95% of the people in our warehouse do this stuff. And when I find one that actually worked, I will take a picture of it. When I see someone that stacked a case like this in this part of the pallet and it actually gave them a strong corner, I will most certainly take a picture of that stupid pallet, because I just can't take this anymore. Look at the front of his pallet. It's perfect. Where my orange line is, the front of this pallet is so perfect. Really nice solid base. And then we decide, you know what? I'm going to stick a case like this in this part of the pallet because that's going to give me a strong corner, right? No, look. I got to stick a small V8 splash over there where my yellow dot's at. And then on top of that, I couldn't get another case to fit there. So I got to squeeze a Gatorade in there. And then that Gatorade's hanging off the back of my pallet. And then my green line back here, I had a nice solid straight line going up. Now I got to cut into my back pallet because I can't fit anything on my corner back there. Guys, I'm just telling you, stop building like this. Cases facing inwards. I was telling guys at my work, I remember 24 years ago, I had this older guy named Bob train me. I had people say he's a real stickler, but I'll tell you what, he builds great pallets. Listen to him. I put one case down in the dairy and he yelled at me. And to this day, I build the way Bob told me how to build 24 years ago, and it works perfectly. Everything I am teaching on this channel is what Bob taught me back in the day. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I had him as a trainer. But guys, never works. If it ever does, I will definitely show you a picture of that. So with that being said, I also want to put into this video about talking about layers. People get in the mindset that I got to stack layer by layer, and I cannot move on to the next layer until I fill in that layer. I showed you this picture on one of my last videos, and this is the perfect thing up in the produce warehouse. This is what I want to show you. See how they have a nice strong back and a nice strong front? They're not squeezing cases in this part where they have that gap on top of the pairs. They're moving on layer by layer. They know their warehouse. They know further up the line, they're going to have smaller cases where they can fill this gap in. And guess what? Their tower that they have over here, if they're a builder like me, I would do that. I would build a tower up, okay? And maybe I fill in that gap and I get level again. I'm going to grab one of my cases off this tower and put it down here. Okay, so just because their tower is there doesn't mean that's where they're going to keep it. They may keep it there, but if I fill in a gap and I can start filling in my layers as I'm going, then I'm going to do so. But the name of this game is to keep progressing forward. You do not want to dwell on something for too long, and you most definitely don't want to squeeze a case in there where it's going to start pushing cases off the back of your pallet. So I wanted to show that picture before I get to my order. All right, so guys, once again, I showed this on a previous video too. I just wanted to give you an idea of what our part of the warehouse was like this, because I'm going to be showing you an order I did recently in this part of the warehouse. So we start off with canned goods, we start off with pop, get into the teas and stuff to that nature. And of course, you get a large quantity of stuff like this, or a lot of the like cases, I want to build layer by layer because that's going to give me a nice strong pallet. But what happens if you don't have a lot of cases like this in that part of the warehouse? And that's what I'm going to show you. So this picture right here is in that part of the warehouse. Now, I went through our first aisle in this part of the warehouse and I grabbed like 4 cases. So right off the bat, I knew that I am not having a lot of these smaller cases. So I got to start thinking about what's coming up in my order. I got to start strategically planning out what's going to happen in this part, because I had a lot of cases. I still had like over 200 cases on this order. But I'm like, okay, I'm starting out with these small cases and I'm going to start getting bigger boxes, because on that full pallet you've seen, I had solid cases. I had those tees and stuff like that. So I knew that I could fill in the back of my pallet and have a nice strong back with those cases when I come up to that aisle. So right here, I started stacking up the front of my pallet, because if I would have had that mindset that I got to fill in this whole entire layer before I start moving on, then by the time I get to my juices and stuff, because these cases were not level, so I'm going to start having juices not level. And what's the point of that? Okay. When you have a bunch of cases that are staggering, you're not going to have a level, or you're not going to have a strong pallet. I want to save as much wood as possible for that part of the warehouse. So my pickles, you could see there, I threw them up front. They weren't fitting anywhere that I liked them. And it's just a smaller, awkward case, but I want to keep moving. I want to keep progressing forward. Here's my next picture right here. Notice these cases switch places, all right, because I'm looking to see what works. Guys, when I move cases, it takes like a half a second. So I'm not sitting there dwelling on it. I know what I want to do. Now, I got all my problem cases in the middle right there with the tees. I told you those tees, I don't like them on the outside if I could help it. Although on the front of this pallet, you could see I squeezed in that tee in between 2 pickles to make sure that it would stay in one area so it wouldn't go anywhere. So with that being said, the next slide. As you can see, I filled in the back of my pallet with the cases I was talking about. I figured if I even get 4 or 5 of those cases, which I did, then I could start putting them on the back of this pallet to make sure the back of my pallet's solid. And I ended up having to fill a gap in. So I took the pickles that were up front, I filled it in the gap underneath the beans that you see there, that green box. And then I put another Arizona tea up front. And I figured I could put another heavy case on the corner to tie those Arizona teas in from sliding. Guys, this is the process I go through. If I have a small gap and there's a case already on my pallet that is going to fit perfectly in a gap, I'm going to put it there. Because filling in the gap is a lot harder than putting a case up in the front of my jack. And I tell you guys that all the time. If you have a case that's already on your pallet, don't be afraid to use it and move it somewhere else. I got a gazillion cases I could put on the front of this pallet. I got a select few I could put in that gap. So I'm going to make sure I fill in those gaps first. If you leave the gaps there, that is going to cause your pallet to fall. It's going to start falling inward. You want to make sure you can fill those gaps in when possible. All right, guys. So the next picture I want to show you is this one right here. So I had some waters. I had 3 of these waters down here. And I put them in the corner. I put them all in the corner to keep forming that nice corner. And then I had some heavier noodles. I had 4 of them. So I kept them straight across the back of my pallet, making sure that the higher one is on the outside and the lower one's on the inside. As you can see in this picture right here, see the front pallet, how it's a little bit lower on the inside. You want those low insides, higher corners, and then the water on the back. So I had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Gatorades. And I was hoping, obviously, to get a couple more Gatorades so I could fill in my layer here. But then I got these waters. I have no doubt in my mind, 90% of the people, if not more, in our warehouse would have put these waters on that back corner. If you throw these waters, guys, they are not a sturdy case. They rock around. And if you put any type of weight on them, it's going to shift. 90% of the people that put this stuff on a base are wrapping their pallet later because they don't want it to fall over. Now, if I had a large quantity of water, that's a different story, but I did not. I had 5 of these waters. I want them up front because now my front pallet could act as a guide, act as the barrier. So if that pallet does happen to shift a little bit forward, it's going to hit my front pallet, which I know is also going to be solid. I don't want them on my back because it's just not going to give me that strong back that I want. Now, this picture right here, I started filling in the back of my pallet with stronger cases. I don't have many more pictures of this order because I actually left this as a pickup order because this was towards the end of my overtime. But I just wanted to give people an idea of this order right here. It was like the perfect scenario. I was actually thinking about this type of video, and I just thought this would be the perfect pallet to put towards my video. So I started filling in the back of this pallet with nice solid cases. All right, in this these last couple pictures right here, I want to show you is that this peanut butter, you know, I had that whole back pallet. I could put peanut butter anywhere. I could put it on the front pallet, back pallet, but immediately I looked at this, okay? Sometimes you just got to think outside the box. You know, I have this higher inside, and even though there's a little gap right here and I put my peanut butter there, I was like, I'm always thinking, I got the smaller case. If I put this peanut butter here, would that level out with my corner? And then I know in this part of the warehouse, I got long boxes. I still had some long noodles coming up or even coffees. I could tie that corner in really nice and not have to worry about if the middle in between there, if the case in the middle is level with that or not. It could be a little bit smaller. It doesn't matter because now I could tie in those 2 corners. And even if I just had, let's see, I had 2 boxes that were the same, but they were wider. I could put them on both of those peanut butters. And then if they're wider, they're going to start closing in the gap on top. I hope that makes sense. And then I could tie it in on the layer on top. You just constantly got to be thinking of this stuff, that just because I am not building layer by layer, it doesn't mean that my pallet's not going to be level. I build like this a lot, where I build up the front of my pallet, and then before you know it, the rest of my pallet meets that front of the pallet and it's level again. It's just strategically planning out, you know, what you're doing. And obviously I've been doing this for a while, so it's a lot easier for me, but I'm just telling people that they need to learn a process, because when you're not learning a process, you're just throwing cases to throw. And I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, guys. Every time you select an order, it's the same stuff. So why are you changing the way you throw it? All right, find something that works and stick with it. If I find out this system works for me, why am I going to start doing layer stacking next order? If I get it the same order next time with a few cases, am I going to sit there and start layering off stuff? No, I'm going to build the same way I did the previous order. And that's what I'm saying. Find a process and stick with it. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this stuff makes sense. Strong front, strong back come from strong corners. Little cases in the middle, problem cases in the middle. Start learning a system. I will see you guys next time. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. And Discord, link in the description below. Have a great day, guys.